louder round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we've brought the visionary himself at FOAID 2024. So with that, I'd like to please invite architect Sandeep Khosla.
Thank you, Shraddha, and the team at FOAID for inviting me to share our work at this forum. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. That's our design studio in Bangalore, and we have now transitioned from Khosla Associates to Khosla and Anand, and the new company includes my partner Amrish Anand's immense contribution to the firm for over 2 decades. As contextualists, we've always looked at arriving at a design outcome appropriate to site, to climate, and culture of a place using local materials and methods in exciting new ways. Today, I would like to show 5 recent projects where we have continued to expand on our contextual explorations. While conceiving the architecture for this home in Ahmedabad, one of our primary drivers was a response to the hot and dry summers in the city, with average temperatures in the daytime reaching 45 degrees Celsius. We had to think of passive design strategies that would keep the heat away from the building. There was no point in letting heat penetrate the building and then use vast amounts of energy to cool it down. Glass traps heat, and we thought that we should use it sparingly. The form of the house is derived from its climatic orientation as well as shading devices that keep the internal spaces cool. Deep verandas and overhangs, horizontal pergolas and vertical louvers gently filter the fierce sun and create dramatic shadows through the day. The house is structured to show the path and the trajectory of the sun through the day, and the north wall of the east and west verandas are clad in a grooved and patterned pink sandstone and witness an ever-changing play of sciography on their surface through the day. The typical hip roofs in the house were deconstructed into 3 trapezoidal roofs that envelope a double-height living room as well as the upper-level bedrooms. The one above the living space admits a soft quality of north light into its volume. The double-height living room has 2 generous verandas to its east and west, and these are the main spaces to dwell in through different seasons. The east veranda faces an intimate pool court, while its counterpart on the west overlooks an abundance of landscaped green. 2 existing old neem trees were accommodated in the building design to enhance shade in the west. And a quintessential Gujarati swing is an element in most traditional Gujarati houses, and this took center stage in the west veranda. The breezes in this part of the country flow from northwest to south, from southwest to northeast, and we were keen to harness cross ventilation through the living spaces to have less reliance on mechanical cooling. In such climates, the goal is to use materials and surfaces that would insulate rather than absorb heat. 80% of the roofs are clad with clay tiles, and expanses of glass are minimized and always protected by generous overhangs. All bedrooms on the southern and western face have double walls to reduce heat gain, and there's a liberal use of brick paving in the landscape. All materials are natural, clay bricks in the construction, accent walls in a pink sandstone, cast in situ terrazzo flooring, kota stone, and reclaimed timber for roof cladding. The roofs are clad on the underside with the warmth of wood and contrast with the cool beige terrazzo floors that extend through the home. The circulation of the house, it plays protagonist in defining the spatial experience of the house. A sculptural corten steel staircase connects both levels and leads to a bridge that spans 30 feet across a double-height living space. Here are glimpses of the sculptural cotton steel staircase in a double-height volume. The monolith of the staircase continues into a bridge overlooking the double-height living room, enveloped with the warmth of wood on the ceiling and a soft north light emanating through its clerestory. We recently won an invited competition to reimagine the main lawn of Bangalore Club, a historic institution with deep roots in the city's colonial past. Bangalore Club, originally established in 1868, served as a home away from home for the British Army and Navy officers stationed in Bangalore. It opened its doors to Indians only in 1947. Today, the club spans 11 acres, features colonial-era buildings and century-old trees, and has over 6,500 members. Our task was to master plan and rejuvenate the club's 1-acre main lawn, a space used extensively by members for dining and entertainment. This area had been neglected for 22 years, with random and incongruent additions over the years detracting from the beauty of the surrounding heritage buildings. The main lawn had suffered from overuse and temporary event structures that had damaged the grass. Our brief was to provide an ample covered dining area, create a new kitchen block to replace an outdated facility, envision a new stage, dance floor and green rooms, and design a new and improved umbrella bar as the focal point of the club's social activities. Our new design replaced a fragmented colonnade with a cohesive L-shaped covered walkway, providing ground level and mezzanine seating overlooking the main lawns. We opted for a subtle intervention that allowed the 100-year-old buildings to remain the focal point. We used heritage tiles, a timber-clad slatted roof, and local Sadarali stone for the columns and their capitals. Our colonnade, while aligning with the architectural features of the existing heritage buildings, was intentionally separated from the historic structure with a skylight. On the northern side, we introduced an innovative new umbrella bar beneath a giant rain tree, replacing the beloved and old iconic structure that had been compromised by the tree's roots. The new circular bar with a 50-foot diameter features a central column with radial trusses, supporting a roof that cantilevers 25 feet in all directions, offering a 360-degree canopy. The bar includes seating around its central stem and standing tables along the periphery, all sheltered from the sun and rain. A lot of thought went into conceiving the structure with the correct proportion and expression, and here are some of our sketches back and forth with our structural engineer, B.L. Manjunath, and an animation showing what went into conceiving the structure. By shifting the umbrella bar towards the east and providing seating on both sides of it, one can now dine al fresco under the tree's magnificent branches. This project is especially significant given the rapid disappearance of Bangalore's colonial heritage owing to a lack of a Heritage Act. Our interventions were designed to be gentle, highlighting and celebrating the existing heritage buildings while fulfilling the program's functional needs. For the Jaipur Rugs flagship South India store in Bangalore, we reference the pink city of Jaipur with a dynamic and sensual fluted wall that references motifs from the forts, palaces, and stepwells of the old walled city and playfully weaves itself across the orthogonal dimension of the store. The wall gently demarcates work areas from the display space. Feature walls and ledges are handcrafted in Banswara marble from Rajasthan, and the white stucco walls and ceilings form a muted backdrop to the hand-knotted and hand-tufted carpets on display. We were keen to show the process of weaving and tell the story of this sustainable brand, conscious of social impact through their support of 40,000 plus artisans across 600 villages in India. At the entrance of the store, one is greeted by an imposing freestanding wall clad in local Banswara white marble. Marble relief work depicting a flourish of frangipani leaves was inspired by a rug from the collection, and the intricate hand carving was executed by artisans in Jaipur. At the center of the store, we created a traditional marble divan seating for customers and custom made a 37 feet wide hand-knotted carpet as a wall mural. The soft colors of this mural in salmon, mint, and gray echo the color scheme of the rest of the shell. The layout of the store tucks away back-of-house areas like storage, workspaces for the staff, and a working conference room from the customer interfacing display and interaction areas. This is achieved elegantly by the curvilinear pink fluted wall, which acts as a unifying element, conceptually referencing the aesthetic of Jaipur. When our clients asked us to design a 160-key boutique hotel for Green Park in Bangalore with an India modern aesthetic, we started to search for the real meaning of India modern in today's context. We proposed that India modern was to actually celebrate the design, craft, and talent of Indian design studios rather than source generic furniture from China that they had proposed. Our idea was to think local and open ourselves to exciting collaborations with Indian design studios working with craft. So our clients in this hotel project, it's a business hotel, and they approached us with an India modern theme. And we really took a hard look at what India modern should be. And what we've done really here is to celebrate and explore Indian design studios working with so much talent across the length and breadth of the country. So we've got lacquer work from Channapatna, we've got bone inlay work from Jodhpur, we've got paper mache from Kashmir, and we've got wood marquetry from Mysore, to name a few. And so we've really kind of tried to think local and work with studios from across Bangalore to Jaipur to Ahmedabad to across the country and celebrate their work. So the section of the lobby, and this is how we found the space, it was quite an interesting section, and it prompted us to design a voluminous vaulted roof that runs 130 feet in length and 30 feet in height along the entire linear north periphery of the lobby. The vault is shingled with layers of plywood and acts as a strong visual connector running between the lobby and the restaurant. And it's one of the most prominent unifying elements between the spaces. Running perpendicular to the vault is another linear axis leading from the entrance and culminating in a fluid reception unit clad in brushed brass and Banswara marble. The reception unit essentially floats ahead of a large bookshelf composed of walnut wood and polished cement. Clusters of mid-century seating on either side of the axis provide comfortable areas of pause, and the overall ambience is expansive as the visitor flows through sheets of white terrazzo, broken only with the rhythm of hand-polished cement columns and the playful crisscross of custom-designed pendant lamps. The same vocabulary extends to the all-day dining restaurant with two dramatic biophilia walls serving as backdrop for the booth seating. Metal racks with terracotta planters house a variety of indoor plants, thus bringing the outdoors in and reinforcing the brand language of Green Park. At one end of the lobby, graphic designers, TSK Design, created this delightful 18 feet high walled rug inspired by a top-down view of the KR flower market in Bangalore. The rug was manufactured in Mirzapur by Jaipur Rugs, and the communal table ahead of it was created in collaboration with Vyam Collective, who worked with toy manufacturers in Channapatna to create these clusters of colorful turned lacquerware legs to support the tabletop. In the rooms, the mid-century language and color scheme continues. A lot of thought was invested in re-looking at the essentials of a business hotel room. So we did away with closed cupboards, favoring an open cupboard scheme, eliminated a standard desk and chair, and introduced a sofa and a work table instead. The rooms were brought alive by contextual artwork by TSK Design and the circular graphic artworks that extend into the lift lobbies, extend the theme of the flower market, where the mallipoos and the marigolds reappear as embellishment on women's hairdos. The fit-out of all 60 rooms, I must say, of the hotel have been done in a local carpentry and metal workshop just a few kilometers from the site. And I think that this was a simple yet important choice to make in reducing our carbon footprint in the design and construction process. This is the last project I will show. Our clients approached us to master plan a 42-acre villa development in Raipur called Rama Greens, comprising a total of 90 villas and a well-equipped clubhouse to service the community's needs. Being lovers of nature, our clients had responded to our style of tropical architecture that we've been practicing for over 25 years. In the overall master planning, we were conscious in creating a community where the connect with nature would be a constant. The built form of the Gulmohar clubhouse is quite horizontal and it's rooted to the ground, and there are large sweeping terracotta tiled roofs that hug the foreground and the landscape. The resulting architecture is a gentle ground plus one structure that avoids appearing overly built up. Our intention for this 55,000 square foot clubhouse was to retain the character of a low-rise residential villa development. The relationship of the built form to lung spaces was also crucial, and spaces have been designed to take advantage of landscaped views and courtyards from every vantage point. A climate-sensitive approach with large overhangs and natural materials was necessary to protect the building from the intense summer heat of Raipur. I'll now play a video and
Clients of this development called Rama Greens, they approached us to design a 42-acre community in Raipur because they were lovers of nature and they had responded to our tropical style of architecture that we've been practicing for over 25 years.
The plot was a triangle on which we designed this Gulmohar clubhouse, and it was simply two rectangles meeting at 90 degrees and culminating in a circle. And the circle houses the restaurant, the spa, and the swimming pool.
What I find quite gentle about this architecture is that it's quite rooted to the ground. It's quite horizontal, and there are these large sweeping terracotta tiled roofs that kind of almost hug the foreground and the landscape.
We also kind of kept the harsh climate that Raipur goes through in mind, and therefore we worked with large cantilevers of roofs, which not only gave a definition to the building but also protected building from the harsh sun during summers. Every space looks out into beautifully designed landscape gardens, and the internal spaces are also interjected by these lovely courtyards that bring in light, air and ventilation also into the internal spaces.
Also, I think the natural sensibility of the architecture flows very beautifully into the interior environment. And you have large swaths of terrazzo, grey terrazzo kind of flowing right through the interior. The architecture is quite orthogonal, it's quite linear, it's quite horizontal. There are a lot of straight lines. And we were keen to break that with interior elements that were quite sensuous, which were flowing, which had soft lines. So if you see the furniture lines, they're quite soft. There are these slatted screens in the interior library that kind of flow from one space to the other. The soft blues and the greens and the earth tones like rust and yellow pick up from the earth and from the sky.
So we collaborated and worked with Deva Kusuma on the landscape, and he seamlessly integrated the landscape into our architecture.
Tanya Singh Khosla and TSK Design created this beautiful signage system, which is these raised letters on the stone. It is so kind of gentle yet communicative. The interiors were a nice collaboration with Ayush Kasliwal of AKFD, who kind of manufactured really all the furniture and decorative lighting in this project. A lot of the architectural and interior elements and materiality that we've been using in our homes for almost 25 years have come together in this public space.
This perhaps is one of our most satisfying projects of this scale. I think we went with our gut and our sensibility that we are used to and extended that into this typology of building. And I think both of us are extremely happy in the way
it's all come together, yeah?
It's all come together.